I was really looking forward to Incredible Shrinking Babies. This is the first segment of the 29th episode of the 6th season of Rugrats, and as the title suggests, the babies are tiny. And I love this. I love anything that deals with people shrinking down and interacting with their environment where it's much larger. Obviously, it's done in live action, it's brilliantly fun because you have large props, but even when it's done in animation like this, it's still really good fun. I will say I didn't love the fact that it's centered around Dill. Yet again, things are happening because of Dill, and Chuckie was actually being quite nasty about Dill. Chuckie was very tired, he couldn't go to sleep until Dill took his nap, and he was getting really annoyed at Dill. And Dill was also, potentially destroying his toys as well because obviously Dill grabs at everything, and Chuckie is so frustrated that he ends up falling asleep on the carpet, and he dreams that he is a little person. And the other babies have become little in Chuckie's dream as well, and they try and get Dill to go to sleep, but while they're small. For example, there are some great bits of Tommy pushing Dill's dummy or his pacifier, but obviously it's much larger than Tommy now. The music that went along with that was great, and Phil and Lil are bouncing on Dill's stomach to try and make him laugh, and I think they interacted with their environment well enough. As I said, I didn't love the fact that it centered around Dill. I would have loved a different reason that made them small. I don't have any suggestions for what that could have involved, but I think it would have been better if it wasn't Dill. However, by including Dill, we did get Honey, I Blew Up the Kid vibes. Because if you haven't seen that film, basically a toddler is giant sized and he interacts with the adults as if they're tiny toys, and this is what we see with Dill. So I do think that while I didn't love that it centered around Dill, it did give us those kind of vibes, which meant it worked in a way that it might not have done otherwise. I think it would have been better to have Angelica in this episode as well, because Angelica being tiny would have meant that she wasn't able to be as bossy or demanding as always because she relied on other people to help her get big again and to solve the problem. So that would have been an interesting angle, and it could have worked. Angelica could have been there as well. So it's not perfect. There are things that I think could have been done differently or could have been done better. But the actual concept of interacting with toys that are now much larger than they are, I think was done quite well. So it is very well animated. It was very interesting to see Chuckie being quite, not, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but certainly quite angry and frustrated and annoyed. And usually that's not how Chuckie responds to situations. And actually, Chuckie's often really annoyed at Dill. There are scenes where he's very sweet with Dill, but mostly he doesn't have the patience for him, which is quite interesting. But it's a good episode. It may not have been exactly what I was looking for, but I still really enjoyed it.